welcome back to this channel. I want to say a very big thank you to my returning subscribers. You're awesome. And to those who are new here, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button so you'll be alerted when I make new videos. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to overcome anger. Anger is an intense feeling of annoyance or antagonism towards someone or something that is perceived to be wrong. The emotion can be so intense in some persons that it can become very destructive. In fact, let me tell you the story of a scene I witnessed some years ago. Two cab drivers got into a serious heated argument and they started fighting. In the process, one of them ran into his car, picked up a spanner, smashed the head of his opponent, and immediately his opponent started bleeding and collapsed. That was when the onlookers intervened. They quickly rushed this man to the hospital, while the other man was arrested by the police. Luckily for him, the man survived. The cab driver had to borrow money to pay the hospital bills of the one he injured. Not only that, he was detained by the police and his car was confiscated for days. You can imagine what uncontrolled anger has cost him. The worst would have happened if this driver died as a result of the injury. This is what is happening today. People can get so angry and in the process become so violent that their victims can even die in the process. Yes, really. In fact, there's this true life story of a woman who was very angry with the husband for not giving her enough money. She was trying so hard to get money from the husband, and the husband told her that he didn't have the money she was requesting for. So, she never wanted to take no for an answer. She tried to restrain the husband one day as he was going to work, and in the process, a fight ensued. He pushed her away. She rushed into the kitchen, took a kitchen knife, and threw it angrily at the husband. She ran out of luck that very day because the knife pierced the husband's abdomen and he died on the spot. This woman, till date, is still in jail just because of uncontrolled anger. Husband is dead, the children's life ruined, and till date her life too is ruined. This is really sad. This is what happens in our today's world. You know, people can get so angry that they are unable to control their emotions, that they don't even know what they are doing any longer, and they hurt people in the process. And usually the people they love the most are the worst hit. Let me tell you, the effects of anger on the individual is not only on their victims. The person himself that is expressing this emotion of anger has some effects. Yeah, anger releases some stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline from the adrenal glands. These hormones can shunt blood from the gut into the muscles in preparation for flight and fight response. And so the person is eager to do whatever, to run, to defend himself, and nature has put it there for survival. However, if these hormones are wrongly activated, they can cause harm to the person. Anger can cause your heart rate to increase, your blood pressure, your respiratory rates, your body temperature, everything shoots up and it increases rapidly. Let me tell you, anger can cause sudden heart attack, stroke, and death. Yes, there have been people in the process of expressing this very destructive emotion, they collapse and die in the process. Yes. And so you, the individual that is expressing this feeling of anger, can even be affected. Therefore, it is imperative for you to learn how to manage anger. First, you need to identify the warning signs. In some persons, there's a feeling that rushes through them whenever they start getting angry. And note that this feeling can be something you can get acquainted with, so that when you start having that feeling, it could be your heart start beating, or you start feeling agitated, or something that is peculiar to you. You will need to recognize it early enough so you can take steps to prevent the anger from getting out of control. Now, learn how to respond and not to react. Meaning that when someone is very rude to you, do not react. When you are shouted at, do not shout back. Let's say someone becomes physically aggressive. What do? Do you start fighting? It can get to the point that somebody dies in the process, like depicted in the story I mentioned earlier. In real life situations, what do you do when somebody attacks you? It's so typical today to say, I can't even take that. For what? If you try me, I will give it to you. I will show you who I am, that I am this or I'm that. In fact, you start bragging. Yes, these are things that are happening today. But I can assure you, if you continue to react like this and you give yourself these terrible outbursts of emotions, you are bound to make a lot of mistakes that will cost you your most precious possession. And that's your peace of mind. Not just your peace of mind, it can cost you money. Like this cab driver had to borrow money to pay hospital bills. Yes. So tell me and show me a man that is so erratic, that has uncontrollable emotion. I will show you a man who has no peace of mind. So protect your peace today. If you want to remain in peace, protect it. Stop being erratic. Stop reacting emotionally and learn to respond wisely in all the situations of life. Because people are there, they will always make you angry. They will always spark up the anger in you. But what do? Do you fall for that? You need to exercise some restraint. So instead of blowing up steam, try to remain calm. Move away from a person that is violent and stay in a safe location to protect yourself. You can respond later to this person, either by involving the family members or by involving the police or whomever. But avoid reacting immediately. Now, another thing you can do, mental detachment. What do I mean? When you are being antagonized by someone and you are unable to just walk away, there are some situations where you just can't walk out of the person because it will be considered as being rude. Assuming the person is your boss or a senior family member, you just can't walk away from the scene. You have to remain there. But what do you do even as you remain there and the person is blowing out steam? Create a mental wall around yourself. Deafen your ears such that you are no longer hearing the person. You are no longer taking all the insultive words that the person is saying. In fact, let me tell you about an experience that I had not too long ago. A very close relative of mine picked up a quarrel with me over something she considered as bad. So she started scolding me on that very day. It was such that I couldn't just walk away from her because she was a much older person. So I remained there. I just tuned off. And so when she continued chattering along and saying all sorts, I just tuned off. So at some point, she looked at me. I was expecting me to react. And she was not getting that kind of reaction she was expecting. And I was just calm. I just said, please don't be offended, Guess what she said? You can't even show remorse. I've been talking, look at you. What do you think you are just so full of yourself. I just smiled. Because, when you begin to do something that is not the usual norm, so to speak, people will take it that you're full of yourself. Yeah. When you begin to step out of the ordinary responses into a higher state of maturity, people begin to see you that, you are so infuriating and all that. Oh, yes. They begin to see that, or say things like, she's always so full of herself. Why not? So instead of actively listening to the person that is being rude, actively listening to someone that is using repulsive words, create a mental block and become a passive listener. That way, you are not provoked to anger. Because there are people there all around at the place of work, in your homes, wherever. They are there to trigger your emotions. Do you just begin to blow up steam at every given trigger? Create a mental block and become passive to them. Protect your inner peace. Protect yourself. And another thing I would like to talk about is that sometimes you need to just forgive people that you think have done wrong to you. You need to learn to let go of hurt, of pain. Accept and overlook the shortcomings of people around you because no one is perfect. So overlook all their shortcomings. Overlook all their triggers because that is their personality trait. Sometimes it's not all about you. It's all about them. It's all about their personality. It's all about their behaviors. It's all about their opinions, not necessarily about you. And so when you get to meet with somebody that is rude, unfriendly, and all that tries to incite you and provoke you, become passive and try to understand and overlook their faults. Learn to also love yourself and be kind to yourself and be kind to everyone around you. And practice daily affirmations. Know that whatever you think about matters. Do you spend time going through all the negative things that can make you angry? There are people who spend a lot of energy in remembering things, bad things. My wife does not respect me. So whenever you see your wife who doesn't respect you, you just become angry. There are people like that. As they just set their eyes on people who they perceive is not nice to them, they just begin to get angry. Some even take anger as their identity. You hear them saying, don't try me, I'm very, very hot-tempered. I am hot-tempered, better don't try me. If you try me, I will give it to you. Yes, these are things that are happening. People claim these things and say, this is how I am. Meaning that they are not even open for change. They have accepted it as their character traits. And as such, they are not even open for change. So I encourage you, my friends, practice daily affirmations. Say to yourself, I am peaceful. I am not hot-tempered. Say pleasant words to yourself. Try to shift the character traits of anger that you have. Begin slowly, every day. Say some words of affirmations. I am not angry. I will not be angry today. I will not be angry with anyone that tries to provoke me. I will remain calm. I will be stable. I will be peaceful. No matter what happens, I will maintain peace. I am a peacemaker. I am a peace giver. Just begin to say this to yourself each and every day. And before long, you will see there's going to be a shift from what you used to be to a better you. I encourage you to practice these tips that I just mentioned in this video and become a better person. And I promise you, your life will not be the same again. Thank you for joining me to the end of this video. Please, if you are yet to subscribe, do and hit a notification bell so you will be the first to know when I make new videos. Until I see you in my next video, peace.